Let's talk about emotional maturity. It's fascinating how it often shows up in ways people don't expect. One of the clearest signs is actually the ability to be wrong and not just admit it, but to genuinely welcome correction. Think about that for a moment, feeling thankful when someone points out a mistake. That's quite different from the common assumption that emotional maturity means always being composed or never showing weakness. Another interesting indicator is when someone can hold multiple contradicting feelings at once without trying to resolve them. Being able to deeply love someone while also being frustrated with them, or feeling both excited and nervous about a new opportunity, that's emotional sophistication right there. Here's a subtle one that often goes unnoticed. Emotional maturity shows in how someone responds to other people's good news. When a friend shares a success, does one immediately relate it back to their own experiences, or can they simply sit in that person's joy? The mature response is to resist the urge to make it about oneself. What's particularly fascinating is how emotional maturity manifests in relationships with difficult people. Instead of trying to change them or reacting to their behavior, an emotionally mature person understands that everyone is fighting their own battles. They maintain boundaries without harboring resentment. Now that's a real skill. One of the most counterintuitive signs is actually the ability to be playful and silly. Many think emotional maturity means being serious all the time, but it's quite the opposite. Being comfortable enough to be childlike while handling adult responsibilities, that's true emotional integration. The way someone handles uncertainty is another telling sign. Emotionally mature people can say "I don't know" without feeling threatened. They can exist in the gray areas of life without desperately seeking black and white answers. They understand that certainty is often an illusion. Perhaps most importantly, emotional maturity shows in how someone treats themselves when they fall short of their own standards. Instead of harsh self-criticism, there's a kind of gentle understanding, the same understanding they would offer a good friend who made a mistake. It's worth noting that emotional maturity isn't a destination, it's more like a practice. Even the most emotionally mature people have their moments of regression. The difference is they can recognize these moments without shame and return to center more quickly. What's really compelling is how emotional maturity often looks like simplicity. It's not about having complex emotional strategies or sophisticated psychological defenses. Instead, it's about being able to stay present with whatever is happening, pleasant or unpleasant, without needing to fix or change it. Remember, these signs aren't about perfection, they're about direction. Every small step toward any of these qualities is valuable, and the journey itself is what shapes character. The most emotionally mature people are often the ones who remain eternal students of their own hearts and minds.